cats, one scale, and a suitcase to pack. Zepbound in hand, there's no looking back. Cruising through this journey, non-scale victories divine. But can Amy lose the weight without losing her mind?
Okay, can everybody hear again? Hold on, I'm trying to put my mic on. I'm just a hot mess of everything today. So, so sorry about that. You know, that's just how it goes. So I want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Sarah. I have been playing with, is it Suno, S-U-N-O? So playing with Chat GPT and Suno. Let me see if I can get this to be a little closer. There we go. And it's just been a lot of fun. Pam Marsh. So I live in the Northern Virginia area, Metro DC. So fun times. It's really fun living here right now. Just a blast with all the political stuff going on. Now let me just make sure my audio, I think that's working. Let me know if anybody has any trouble hearing me. I noticed the audio on the last live was a little bit funky, but Aberdeen, Scotland. I have not been to Scotland. Well, welcome, Mary Ann. Really nice to see you. Let's see who else we've got here. Hey, Becky, I was chatting with you earlier. Hello, Jill. Good to see you. And let's see, we've got Candace. Candace, I was having a moment. I don't know. I was filming a video for Amy and 10, and I thought I was filming it at 4 o'clock. Apparently, I didn't start it till 5 o'clock. And then by the time I got it done, which shouldn't take an hour, it's 10 minutes, right? Amy and 10, whole point. Amy and 10. And yeah, just a hot mess today. Hello from New Jersey, down the road from me. Oh, thank you, Sarah. The audio sounds good. So I'm loving my new StreamYard setup. I actually broke out. I have a little keyboard and mouse for my iPad, so I'm not having to shake it and touch the screen every time I do it. And yeah, so just make sure, like, if you have weight loss journey stuff to share in the chat, something you want everybody to see, don't forget to do that. I'll put it up on the screen. So for anyone who's new here today, and I'm trying to look at the camera, I promise you. Anybody who's new here today, I just want to kind of go over the basics, what I do on a live stream. So usually I do my stats in my weigh-in, so that way people who are rewatching the live stream kind of get kind of a complete video to start. And then I have a topic today that I wanted to cover with everybody because I made some really ridiculous food mistakes this week by making some food choices that I was trying to give myself back some time, and it ended up just not working out. Not working out very well at all. Yes, Sarah No Sunshine. I am regularly on the Hot Mess Express. Ooh, look at Pam. Woohoo! Wonderland. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've been in Wonderland. 2014. It's probably last time I was in Wonderland. So it's scary to think that was 11 years ago. So maybe into early 2015, I was still in the low 180s. But man, when I put on weight, really quickly. Yes, Sarah No Sunshine, I got into corn again. So I'll show you the packages that I have. And everything has dextrose, it has cornstarch, it has modified cornstarch, xanthan gum, all of that good stuff. Like, I just can't avoid it. And it's so sad that I just can't get away from that stuff. So let me show you really quickly. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Amy. I'm on a journey to lose 180 pounds. Here are some stats on me. I'm 5 feet. So as Sabrina Carpenter would say, I leave quite an impression, 5 feet to be exact. I am 51 years old. I'm single with cats, taking currently 7.5 milligrams of Zepbound up until this shot that we're measuring on here. I was taking the name brand Zepbound. I have been diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. Mine's not very severe, but it does interfere with my weight loss. Just slows every single thing down. And mine is a very intermittent. So I will struggle with it for a couple of months, and then it goes away. And then I won't hear from it for a long time. And then all of a sudden, I'll just put on a whole bunch of weight. Or I have even lost like 20 pounds in a month before. Very rare, but I've had times where changing nothing, I've just dropped a whole bunch of weight. I also do have sleep apnea, and I know Joe's not in here, but Joe from Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey would be very happy to hear that I scheduled an appointment with my sleep doctor. I did go on the wait list to get something sooner, but I have an appointment in February, or actually the first week of March, to get evaluated again, probably get a new machine, all that good stuff. I started my journey January 1st, 2025, and I started at 304 pounds, and that is 138 kilograms and 21 stone 10. And look at that. 52 with 2 cats. Way to go. Love the cats. And Becky, 45 and single with 1 cat. Yeah, I love seeing your cat on your videos. Yeah, preteen. Yeah, like I was very lucky that I was able to lose weight on that absolutely horrendous diet that I was on, but I'm telling you, it wrecked my mental health, and it was absolute torture. But yeah, like being in Wonderland would be so amazing. I cannot wait till I get there. And at this point, I'm going to be waiting a while because it's taking me forever, but I'll get there. But let's go over my calorie intake for the week. So, you haven't seen my weight loss, gain, or nothing yet. But my basal metabolic calculator says for little to no exercise for my weight, height, gender, and age, 2,081 calories should be the minimum that I'm eating in a day. Now, I don't know if you can see my little mouse cursor or not. I apologize if it's getting in the way. And I should be, to lose 1 pound a day, I should be taking 750 calories, 1 pound a day. What in the heck? 1.5 pounds in a week. I should be taking off 750 calories, leaving me with 1,331 calories max per day. Now, if you look at my food chart, because I do track everything. And on Wednesday, I barely ate anything because I'd gotten a COVID shot. And I had a fever on Thursday, and Wednesday just wasn't feeling that great. So for the whole week, I was 819 calories over, which is really not bad. I still should have lost an estimated of 1.25 calories based on my intake. But sigh. This is how Amy works. So for my shot 36. I always say this backwards. Shot 36, week 43. I managed to lose 0 pounds because that's how I roll. But I'm still at a total loss of 40 pounds. I think the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is I really wanted to get down to 258 pounds before my cruise. I have 3 more weigh-ins before my cruise. And it wasn't really about like, oh, I just need to lose weight. I was trying to be 10 pounds down from the last time. So my last cruise was September 15th, and I was trying to lose 10 pounds in those 2 months because I'm leaving November 15th. And a person would think that isn't terribly difficult, especially when you're eating in your calorie deficit. But, everybody's bodies work different, and mine just says, no way, we're not doing that. But it is what it is. And then let's see. So Sarah says, she's 38, married for 13 years. Congratulations. 2 dogs, 2 cats, 3 bunnies, a goose, lots of chickens, and 2 kids. So you have a menagerie of everything there to take care of. So lots to take care of. And Candace says, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm feeling better. It was just literally like a day or two that I just had a little bit of a fever. And which I've never actually had any reaction to COVID shots previously. So I'm surprised that I even had a fever. And you know what? Let me pull my chair up. My chair's broken. And I keep sitting here and it keeps going down. So there we go. That's better. You can see more of me now. Yeah, and I didn't gain, Candace, but I think the hard part, one of the big reasons why this journey is such a roller coaster, right, is because I'm doing the things. Okay, maybe this week I didn't do the exercise I wanted to do, but I'm eating what I'm supposed to be eating. I'm taking the medication, and it's just slow. It's working. Well, hello there, Calamity Jane. Good evening. Oh, I have a treat for you. So my weight just gets a little stubborn. And Pam, you're asking, do I cruise with Christopher and Lorraine from the downsize? No, I do not. But funny enough, they're on the Wonder of the Seas today. And I was on that in September. And I actually will have an interview coming up with them. I'm talking to them on December 1st, but I don't know if they're going to record it and then post it later. But I will let everybody know when I am going to be on the downsize. But Calamity Jane, so this is for you. Remember tomatoes. This dress does not fit yet, but you see my tomato pattern dress. Everybody thinks it's cherries, but it is tomatoes. I grew out of my size 4X and it was just hanging on me. And I got the only one left in stock in a 1X. So I'm excited to get into that 1X, hopefully by springtime. So fingers crossed that I'll be able to wear that through the summertime. But yeah, I love the tomato pattern because I am a tomato-based life form. I eat tomatoes all of the time, every day. Let's see. So Sarah says, yeah, Hashimoto's throws a wrench in everything. And because mine is so intermittent, like I can't really be on meds for it. So they've been searching for a long time and trying to find something to work for me because they can't put me on standard meds. So kind of Zepbound was really like their best choice. They really wanted me to go on metformin. And I'm like, no way. I'm not taking that. I don't have a problem with my glucose. I know that metformin also is supposed to help insulin resistance, but I don't know. I've heard so much not great about metformin that I really didn't want to attempt to do that. I know my stepmother really, really has struggled with it. So it's just, I don't know. It's just one drug that I didn't want to mess with. Everybody's got their limits, right? Of things that they're willing to put in their body. So let's go through some food. So let's talk about the food issue that I had. So, I was married for 26 years and I got married at 18. So I was married longer than I was a single person. And during that marriage, I always had to do everything, right? I mean, my ex-spouse did have some chores, but it was a huge struggle to get him to actually do the chores that he was assigned. So I always had to cook, clean, do the grocery shopping, do all of that. So like sometimes I get completely burnt out on preparing my own food because I've never really had someone to care for me. And sometimes I just like really crave that. So it's like I have an adult temper tantrum about it. And so this week I just got it into my brain that I was tired of cooking and I was tired of, luckily I only eat 2 meals a day, but it's still having to get up and prepare myself something and figure out like what protein I'm going to cook and what vegetables I'm going to bake or saute. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll just get some frozen meals, right? There's got to be some good stuff out there that I can get within my calorie limit, and they should fill me up, and then I won't have to cook. Well, this didn't really work out that well. Yeah, and so Becky, yeah, metformin is rough. I don't ever want to take that if I can avoid it. Yeah, it's kind of one of those drugs, honestly, with metformin that I really think that they're making so much money off of it, and the doctors are making so much money off of it, right? They get commissions for prescribing these drugs that they just continually like keep pushing it. And it becomes just like a staple of something that they just constantly want to give people because, they're getting so much kickback from the drug companies to put it out there. And then, yeah, Sarah, sometimes people just need a break. Sometimes I wish it were affordable sometimes to hire somebody to cook for me. I've looked into those meal services. But honestly, because so many of them use cornstarch in their sauces, they're all like, okay, so they're like a really simple meal, but then they have to put all these sauces and flavorings on it to make you want to eat it, right? And also, so many of them just want to give you chicken or shrimp. And it's like, I can't eat the shrimp. And then if it's not shrimp, it's corn. So it becomes really frustrating to try and avoid two like major allergens. Just a hot mess. But yeah, Kaliam, yeah, sometimes you just get tired of thinking of food to make and the effort to make it. Like, I think my hard part is during the workday, I get so caught up in what I'm doing. The things that I do take so much brain power and need so much focus. When I have like a 30-page spreadsheet open, like the last thing I want to do is stop for an hour and go make my food, because like all this time that I've taken to understand what it is that I'm trying to do, it's such a break in the day sometimes that I just can't stop what I'm doing. And then I finish work and then I sit down and start working on YouTube stuff. And the next thing I know, it's 9 o'clock at night. And then I'm like, I got to figure out what to cook that's not going to take a really long time. Hi, Susarella. Nice to see you. Thank you for subscribing to both my channels and watching my videos. Oh, actually, all three of my channels. So I don't really advertise the Amy and 10. It's just my therapy channel. But some of you have found it, have been watching the videos. So I really appreciate that. Well, that's really nice. I've never had somebody to cook for me, Sarah. My ex-husband did it a little bit when I had a back injury and I couldn't actually walk. I literally laid on the floor. I slept on the floor in the living room because I really couldn't move. So, he would do like the basics, like, it's not really hard to turn on a frying pan and cook a hamburger or microwave pasta or, bring home pizza. But he's would never ever have made the initiative to like come up with a meal and cook it and like, oh, here, babe, like here's something to eat. So yeah, I kind of like missed that on the relationship lottery. Ooh, what did you have for dinner? A hot buffalo cheesy chicken protein spaghetti. That sounds delicious. Yummy. Okay, so let me show you some of the absolute crazy things that you would think that this was healthy, right? So like I put on the photo for this, like the thumbnail about no healthy choice for me. So I bought this healthy choice cafe steamers thing, right? And it looks like really healthy and a lot of food and 16 grams of protein, but it's only 300 calories and that's not really filling. So you really need to add a bunch of stuff to this. But then when I made it, I was so disappointed. There was maybe 2 ounces of meat at best, and it was really the saddest thing with just a few vegetables. And I didn't realize that there was corn. So I ended up having to throw out like all the vegetables. I picked out the meat and the potatoes, but it was just so much sauce that they're using to fill the calories with. So it was like just a waste of a meal. Like you could need 3 of them to even remotely feel like you have had something. So yeah, so if you look at the back, it's 300 calories. But look at the carbs, like almost 50 carbs, very little fiber, just a ton of sugars. And of course, sodium, is always through the roof. But I would say that out of the things that I bought, that this would be the worst of the bunch. And honestly, I don't know if it's just since the pandemic that things have gotten so much worse, the quality of the food in the store, just not even worth buying. And then this was something new. This is called like the Yellowstone barbecue meat and mash. And they make this meat look so big. I would say like you get maybe a quarter of that. So this says 12 grams of protein, which is not that much if you're having meat, and it was 13 and a half ounces of food. So not even a full pound of food between the two things. And it was just basically like two teeny tiny meatloaf things swimming in sauce. But this one was quite high in calories. So that was 650 calories for this meal. And I can't necessarily read it. I think 36 total carbs, through the roof sodium. And so, yeah, I started having some swelling because everything had all this sodium. And it did have 20, is that 24? 24 grams of protein for the whole container. But I don't know, this was just okay, but I don't think it really gave any value for the calories or anything. And honestly, I really started missing my fresh vegetables because for so long, since I've been struggling with the Hashimoto's causing me to have food allergies, I have been eating mostly fresh fruits and vegetables and the meats and protein. And I didn't realize how much I crave that stuff. And I really started to miss it. See what I got. Oh, this was my dinner from today. So this one I would say would be the best flavor. So this was a Chef Ramsay's shepherd's pie. But when you read the back of it, it says that contains less than 2% of onions, peas, and carrots. Less than 2%. Isn't that like the whole point of shepherd's pie? Is that you have meat, peas, and carrot. Like they were so not even noticeable. But I do have to say, like the flavor was good on this. And not too bad on calories, 490 calories, 27 carbs. And is that 23 grams of protein? 23 grams of protein. So not too bad. And it did taste really good. And it was sort of filling. It was 10 ounces of food. So really not that much food. And, I spent the same amount, if not more, on buying enough frozen meals for lunch and dinner. So that would be, I ended up buying, I think, 10 total. So for 5 days, 2 meals per day. And I spent the same amount, actually more than the vegetables. Yeah. So Sarah, yeah. So what a ripoff. And the math is, none of the math is mathing on any of that. Yeah, Becky, every time it was my ex's turn to cook, he wanted to order pizza. Of course. Because why wouldn't we just want to order pizza so we could avoid actually doing work or actually showing someone we care about them by putting in some effort? So I just did my Amy and 10 video about gaslighting because that was a huge problem in my relationship. And so, yeah, so something like buying pizza and not bothering to like cook when it's your turn that's kind of part of it. So, okay, so the only one so far that I've really felt was worthwhile, but even the so much less food than previously before the pandemic was the Stouffer stuffed peppers. And most people aren't going to go for this because it's not the lean cuisine. It's not the healthy choice meal. But the 2 large peppers are now only like about half of this. It's like they cut off like the whole half and don't use it anymore. I think this currently is like 15 and a half ounces, but I think this used to be like 24 ounces of food. But I don't know that these calories are right. It says it's only 320 calories for the whole package. And I ate the whole package and it was pretty darn filling. But again, just the quality. I don't think that meat tasted nearly as good as it used to. And for as much sodium, I swelled up. It was like 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And I started swelling. And I don't know how it didn't taste salty when it had that much salt in it. It did have 14 grams of protein, which seems kind of low for that much meat that was in it. But yeah, this tasted decent, but it was pretty much the most filling one. out of the bunch. And then this one I think was kind of a waste. This was the multi-meat stromboli. Sorry about that. I'm getting spam calls and it rings on my iPad. If you can't see me, let me know, but I think you should be able to see me again. But yeah, multi-meat stromboli. And doesn't that look really great on the picture? But I tell you, there was so little meat in there that I actually ended up pulling off a lot of the bread because I couldn't find the meat. It was so bad. It did not look anything like the package. And if you can see, it had 530 calories. If I can get that to focus, 44% of my sodium intake. So like, I think that's 1,020 and 28 grams of fat. I can't quite read that. This is so tiny. So 26 grams of fat, 1,020 milligrams of sodium, 46 carbs, obviously because it's got a lot of bread, and then 21 grams of protein. But false advertising, it did not look like this on the inside at all. But I did microwave it. I followed, they had a micro bake instructions where you heat up the oven, you microwave it for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then you throw it in the oven for about 5 minutes. And it did crisp it up, but again, like so much sodium and so little meat, like just such an absolute waste of time. So that was kind of my, downsizing equals increased profit, right, Candace? Like everything's downsized. Everything has lesser ingredients, so less quality ingredients, less quality taste. Like Amy's meals, if anyone has eaten Amy's meals, they're like vegetarian. I had to stop eating them because they're usually really full of corn. And I just like during the pandemic, like I noticed that the quality was going down and they were putting less and less in the bowl. So it was like it used to be a filling meal, and then you were like getting less and less and less. And you're like, why am I buying this? I need two at this point. But I would say that like one of my good choices, but I really got to watch the calories. Like if anyone has ever eaten the wonderful, these sea salt and vinegar pistachios are really delicious, but for a quarter cup, they're 170 calories. So you really got to fit something like this kind of snack really carefully into your diet. Otherwise, you will just end up annihilating your calories for the day. And something else I picked up because I don't usually eat breakfast because I find that if I eat something at breakfast, then by the time I get to lunch, I'm not hungry. And then by the time I get to dinner, I'm starving because I don't eat lunch. I picked up these Kind Protein Max bars because they don't have whey protein because I have a milk whey protein allergy. Now these, as far as I could tell, did not have any corn. They're peanuts, soy protein, tapioca fiber, vegetable glycerin. That would be the only thing that I'd be concerned that could be made out of corn. But they had tapioca starch and peanut oil, and obviously the nuts. It's got nuts, peanuts, and chocolate and peanut butter. So this is 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and only six grams. Let's see if I can show you this. So 23 carbs for the whole thing and 250 calories. So I figured I'd give that a try and maybe have that for a breakfast to try and get that 20 grams of protein in. Okay, so thanks, Sarah. So vegetable glycerin, is usually soy or palm. Okay, that's good to know. You just never know what things are made out of. And hey, Mary Cobb, it was good seeing you. I think it was at Tuber Chat that I saw you on yesterday. I've been on so many live streams lately, and you know who I keep missing is the last 3 days I missed Foodies Vacations, and it's because someone keeps putting a meeting on my calendar at 10 a.m. every day, even though I have it blocked out for Foodies. And then because I totally blanked out on the live stream today, I thought it was 4 o'clock and her live came on at 5 and I just totally missed it. Just brain. Like, some days you just can't get your act together. So even though like my scale didn't go down and I've been eating like weird stuff and it's really gonna show up on the scale Saturday if I don't get this swelling off of me. I know that just the salt intake has gotten a little out of control. So far, the scale's not moving this week, which is great, right? Because if I'm not eating things that are good for me, then it's not impacting the scale at this moment. Well, hello, Mary Ellis. Nice to see you. And what else? So the scale's not moving, but I am noticing a difference in my body. So even though since September 15th, when I was 268 and I'm 264, it's only 4 pounds. I am seeing like a huge difference. I noticed like my upper stomach had really been sticking out and really been puffy. And I've noticed like in the last 2 weeks, like that's starting to go down, which is great. Hello, Losing It's Grace. Nice to see you. I've seen you on lots of live streams. I think you were on with Christopher's live today with the downsize. I thought I saw you pop up on there. And then I definitely saw you Monday with, I think, Joe and Calamity Jane and Harjarine. And let's see. Yes, thank you. I normally wear this dress with the little hearts on it that look like conversation hearts. I usually reserve it for like my February. But I'm just looking for things that were comfortable and not so huge. A lot of my stuff is getting large. So some of the stuff is not fitting nice around the neck and it's getting a little too low to be on camera. Because I do a lot of video calls with my work. So because my company we're all remote. And so like we do have lots of on-camera meetings and it's just kind of corporate culture. I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but in my company, it's expected to don't call somebody on the phone, just set a video meeting and let's have a conversation face to face, just like if you were in an office and you'd get up and go have a conversation with someone. That's just our corporate culture. And I like it because, I live alone and my closest friend's about 20 minutes away and she's never going to come over here and visit. And, Jill and her life partner are a couple hours from me. So I don't get to see them. I don't have like company in my apartment a lot. So it's nice to see people on the screen and actually talk with them. I know a lot of people don't like it. Let's see. So Losing It's Grace saying hello to Becky. And okay, so Muriel has got a question. So how's it going switching to compounded? Okay, I can't say this word because I always get it wrong. Tirzepatide, I think. Trust me, I got corrected because I spelled it wrong and I've spelled it wrong forever. And yeah, so I did my shot. If anybody saw the video, I did my shot on Sunday afternoon and it's been no different other than I feel like I'm having a little bit more of the munchies, but today's Thursday, right? So I'm getting closer to shot day, but I don't know if it's from going down from 10 that I'm having the issue or if it's the switch of the medications. So I'd say I've had no additional side effects. I've had some sulfur burps, which I've always had with the medication. So I'm not going to say that there's been any difference. But I was getting a lot more munchies. So I may have to like go up a little bit on my dose and maybe my shots won't last as long. And I did actually accidentally take a little bit extra because I took 50 milligrams or 50 milliliters instead of 45 milliliters. So I overdid it a little, but that's nothing nothing, nothing harmful. Okay, you Terzepatide, nice. Okay, so like if anybody actually caught the downsize today, they were talking about the drug makers who came out and were giving like their quarterly reporting because right, it's time for third quarter reporting. I actually just did mine on Friday. And so they were talking about how like they're just making billions and billions of profit. Like for instance, Lilly said that they gave away like $2 billion in dividends and buybacks of stock. $2 billion. So we're all out here scrounging our little pennies to get this medication, and they're giving billions of dollars back to their shareholders. Like, just makes me crazy. Yes, definitely make sure you're going out there and hitting that thumbs up button on the live stream. You usually do have to close out the live chat. Just hit the X button and hit the thumbs up button, and then you can open it right back up. So it doesn't actually close the whole video. It just closes your chat for a few minutes. Oh, thank you, Losing It Graves. I've really been enjoying lives. I watch so many lives of other people, and it's really been my entertainment. And I'm just hoping that, hoping that I'm bringing entertainment to everybody else and not boring you all to death. And it's so dark here now at 6 o'clock. I should have turned my light on so you could see my cats bouncing around, but everybody ate dinner pretty early. So they're all sleepy now. They got all their carbs in and they're done. Yeah, I'm definitely going to continually update everybody on like, how's it going? So the comparison was $504 per month versus I paid $765 for 3 months. So let me use my calculator because that's like my favorite thing ever to do. Let's see. 504 times 3 equals $1,512 minus 765. So this is $747 difference, which basically pays for like another 3 months of the medication. So it's like a 50% difference. I'm still not 100% sold on the pharmacy that I chose because I thought that it was weird that they didn't actually do a video chat, because I know maybe it's because I didn't present my insurance. In Virginia, I know if you're using insurance, whether you're getting denied on your claim, but if they're going to attempt to run your insurance, it's actually a legal requirement that they do a video call to start off your medication before you get your prescription. And then anytime you're doing a prescription renewal, then they have to do another video call. So they just did text and stuff. So I guess what was weird is on their website, they said they used a specific pharmacy, but that's not the pharmacy the medicine came from. And then when I looked at the pharmacy, they said that they used, and then the pharmacy that was on the outside, not the vial itself, but the container it came in, they all kind of had almost like similar websites, like they're all hosted on the same platform and maybe the same person made them. So I don't know. It looks a little sketchy, but I've had one other person, who is it? Tammy from Chaos and the Clarity, who said that she's heard Alara is a pretty reputable pharmacy. So, fingers crossed that it works out, right? Because until Lilly gets their act together and realizes, like, the standard accounting theory is if you lower the price, you sell more, right? It's like the first thing they teach you in accounting. They would actually sell more and make more money if they lowered the price. But at this point, they're just trying to gig us for everything that they can get out of us, which is really, really sad. Thank you, Suzarella, for telling me I'm not boring. That is fabulous to hear. Yeah, I do end up watching some live replays, but I just love doing the live streams, and I'm so glad that I found like Joe and Calamity Jane and Hargerine. You know what? I need to talk to them about going back on because I really, really enjoy doing that with them. Thank you so much. Grace. You know, I haven't caught Listen at Gray's live stream in a while. I need to, you know what? Sometimes like you subscribe to a channel and you watch their videos and then you forget to turn the notifications on. And then you're like, well, why am I missing all this content? Yeah. You know, sometimes like sometimes like before the live stream, like the couple hours before, like totally like just nervous and terrified, like, oh my gosh, is this going to be a disaster? And I tried to make it a disaster tonight because that's what I do. But at least I only missed a couple of minutes. And thank you so much, Jill, for texting me and telling me that I wasn't on the live stream. And thank you so much to everybody who hung around to see me actually come on, because like, I don't know, you know, my brain was just fried. But so far so good on the new compounded. I'm really hoping that it works and that I can just stay. I know I'm going to have to stay on this medication for the rest of my life. So I just got to get the planning in and figure out how the heck I'm going to be able to afford that. Luckily, my car, I just made my last car payment and I actually already got my title to my car and I put that in my safe. So that is one expense that I don't have to put out, but I got to take Sheldon to the vet. So that's, so there goes that $500. So I just got to get him a check-in. Poor little guy. He's been losing weight and I think he's having a thyroid problem because he's having no other symptoms. It's the little tan guy that runs around here. Oh, he's actually sleeping now, which is unbelievable that he's sleeping. And, but yeah, I'm so glad I got my car paid off. Yeah. Thank you, Candace. Yeah. You know, I was so glad that, that it was finally paid off. So how long have I had my car? I bought it in 2018. So it was an 18 and I bought it in 18. And, you know, honestly, like it still looks brand new because like the styles of cars haven't changed that dramatically. So it doesn't look like, you know, in that I'm driving a car that is as old as it is. And also because it was a little more technologically advanced when I bought it, that most of the stuff is still really modern. So, yeah, poor Sheldon, buddy. I really think it's thyroid because he's been incredibly more annoying than he usually is. Like his hyperactivity level is like through the roof, and he's literally driving me to almost want to drink with the like he will just not hold still. So, I just really think I really am just praying that it's just thyroid because I really don't want anything else to be wrong with him. He's only 7 years old. So, you know, and cats usually get in the danger zone when they, you know, it's like magic, like they hit 10 years old and then magically they start having all these issues. So I was really hoping I'd get a lot more time before I had to start dealing with anything. But yeah, he's going to go to the vet at 9 tomorrow. And so maybe I'll put a little post on the Facebook post thing to let everybody know what the doctor has to say about him. Oh, and thank you so much for the compliment about the closing song. I've been having a lot of fun lately. I actually did all 3 of my channels. I did a full length song for If You Seek Amy K for my cruise channel. It's like Caribbean themed and steel drums and tropical vibes. And so I can cut up the song and like insert into my videos. And then Amy and 10, I did a little ditty at the end. And then I did the one for this channel. So it's been just so much fun. Let's see, van paid off, but does that count if I spent $5,000 in repairs over the past 2 years? That is painful. Yeah. So you really got to think to yourself, well, is the van even worth putting the $5,000 in? But again, nowadays, what are you going to get for $5,000? Are you even going to get something that's roadworthy and keep you moving? for $5,000 nowadays. 2000, that's wow. That's impressive. 2009. That is really impressive. I don't think I've had a 2009 car since forever. When was the last time I had a 2009 car? I don't know that I bought anything around then. No, I didn't. Maybe I did. Okay, so one time I like splurged and got myself like this little teeny tiny Lexus thing. But I ended up making a good deal off of that because when I leased it and I didn't put anything down, and then when I went to turn it back in, or actually I went to sell it at the end of my lease, and I ended up making $4,000 because they had ballooned in price because it was after the big earthquake in Japan, and all the Japanese cars were much more expensive. So yeah, that was like the one time that actually paid off. And then Candace, no, I do not have pet insurance. So the caveat with pet insurance is most of the time that's good for younger pets and routine visits. But like anytime you get into older pets, I think they wanted over $100 per pet. And that's like $400 or $500 a month that I couldn't really afford to put out to afford it to cover an animal that most of the time when you go to the vet the insurance will end up not covering what is wrong with them. So it's good for like catastrophic things, or I've done a plan before that was just like routine maintenance on your animal. But I haven't really had good luck with just regular pet insurance. 3 more months on 10. Congratulations. And thank you, Candace. I really appreciate it. I try to be creative. That's actually the one reason I didn't continue my what is it? My oh my gosh, brain. I was a graphic designer and I actually stopped doing the job. So I went to school, got the degree, got the job, and I stopped doing it because like my creativity is just not very good. Sorry, I have to plug in my iPad. I didn't charge it because I wasn't prepared for today. But yeah, so I became a graphic designer because I was really struggling with creativity, and I was also working in an individual environment where I didn't have any mentors or anyone else working with me. I was really great at like catalog work and layout work, but I wasn't so great with coming up with ideas. But like just the basic like thumbnails and stuff are usually pretty easy. Sometimes they take an eternity. But yeah, doing the songs was so much fun. Yeah, Sarah, like sometimes you got to do it, right? Because 5,000 in repairs is nothing compared to paying $500 a month. Because that in 1 year, that's not even 1 year's of car payments, right? So, yeah, good for you though, Candace, keeping your car that long. Some people just can't. My ex was like that, like could never keep anything like old or with high miles, like because God forbid that he would have to drive something that everybody didn't like fawn over. You know what I mean? Like gotta always be keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah. If I have to choose to pay for a car payment or the shot, I think I go with the shot. Yeah. I'm really so thankful that my car just got paid off, and I can put that money towards the shot. So yeah, and I do have some things that I want to try and save up for. I'm going on the 9 nights cruise, but that's all paid for. And actually the person traveling with me should be reimbursing me 50% of the cruise. And then that'll help pay for my pet sitter. And, but I need to save up for my trip in May when I'm going to Rome on a cruise with, the Grounded Life travel community that I do, that I took the course about, like how to do YouTube and like, how to learn how to do all the thumbnails and all the stuff that goes with it, thumbnails, titles, SEO optimization, the descriptions. And they also do like editing and, all of those things. So they have a group, and all of us people who are trying to do YouTube, and it's specifically aimed at people, 40 and over, but there are some under 40s going with us. So I think that's going to be fun. Really like-minded individuals. All of us going to be wandering around the ship, filming videos. But it should be really great. So I got to start saving up for that. And then in, whatchamacallit? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot something. There we go. I forgot to turn the comments on so everybody can see them on the screen if you don't have your comment section open. But I also, for my goal weight cruise, which at this point, I'm not sure I'm going to hit my goal weight at that point, but whatever, July of 2027, I booked a cabin on the cruise that I went on in 2023 when I was at my highest weight and was kind of miserable. So I'm going on Norwegian Prima to up the English Channel, I guess they call it. So up the coast of England to Brussels, Amsterdam, 3 ports in Norway, and 2 or 3 ports in Iceland. I did the cruise before and we missed 1 port in Iceland that I'm absolutely desperate to do. So I cannot wait. And my goal would be, if I'm not at goal weight, at least like 170, 160 pounds, like the difference that would make. Yeah. So I think that would be just fabulous, because there's so much I didn't do because I couldn't physically do it. And I also got sick in Amsterdam. So most of the crew had COVID and gave it to all of the passengers. So I was sick for a couple of days. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I want to see how much I've improved and how much more I can do. And so I do plan on taking the shot with me on my trip, because it is a 12-night cruise. So I don't remember what day of the week, but I think a lot of people forget that the medication can be unrefrigerated. So I know a lot of people worry about the refrigeration of the shot, but I'll have to make sure that that I'm not bringing more than I need on the cruise. Somehow I'll have to figure out how to only bring the 1 shot. So if I'm using a multi-use vial, I got to make sure that I'm only bringing like 1 dose with me. Maybe 2 at the most, because that's like $100 and something worth of medication for 1 shot. So I don't want to waste it. But I'm definitely, actually, I think on this cruise that I'm going in November, I have to bring a shot with me. And I'm not going to refrigerate it. I don't even think I have an ice pack or anything to do that, because it can sit 21 days at room temperature. But after that, then it has to be discarded. So I don't know if like you can take it out of the fridge and leave it at room temperature and then put it back. But I called when I was using Mochi, because my package came one time and then I didn't get it for a couple of days, because in my apartment, like stuff gets delivered and it gets it disappears. So by the time I found it, like it was room temperature, and they said, no, it's fine. Like it'll be absolutely fine. So losing it gray. So I'm going on, so November 15th, I'm going on the Freedom of the Seas for 9 nights, do them back to back, 4 nights. And, so 5 nights and then 4 nights. And then I'm going in May of 2016. Oh my God, I've lost 10 years. May of 2026, I'm going on, in Rome. I'm going on a princess ship. I don't remember the name of it. So I'm going on a cruise, Rome and Greece and Turkey. So that should be fun. That's just a 7-night. And then I'm doing 12-night Norway, Iceland, out of Southampton, London. So I've done that cruise before. Absolutely fabulous. So yep, I've got lots of stuff planned, because, I also have a cruise channel. So not only did I do like my step challenge and filmed it for Amy Loses It, but then I filmed like cruise content when I was on the cruise and made videos about that. And I also play in the casino. So I had some casino videos on If You Seek Amy K. That's my travel channel. And then, yeah, it's, and a lot of it I'm doing because, well, one, I love cruising, but two, I really need the content, right? If I'm a cruise content creator, I really need to be cruising and making videos. So it is an investment that is kind of straining me at the moment, but it is an investment in my business of trying to run a YouTube channel as well. So hopefully that pays off. I'm hoping that all the effort that I'm putting in will pay off. And thank you, Becky, for answering. You cannot put it back in the fridge once it reaches room temperature. Okay, so that's good to know. So my mochi did reach room temperature and I put it back in the fridge and I survived that. Thank goodness. But yeah, I'll make sure that I don't do that in the future. And then Joe. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Oh, don't worry about forgetting because Joe, you know what? I forgot. I was 6 minutes late to my own live. I literally, after the fact, set an alarm for 5:59. I literally sat here at 6:05 and set an alarm for 5:59 because I thought it was 5:05. My brain is just scattered. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love this dress. Again, it's another one that I got from Bloom Chic, and it's pretty stretchy, and it's one of those fabrics where it's like not printed. Like it's not printed on the inside. It's just like printed on the outside. So kind of like those socks that you get, like if you put them on and you stretch it, like you kind of get the white effect. But super, super stretchy, super, super comfortable, goes down to about mid-calf and has pockets because 99.9% of everything that they sell on Bloom Chic, all the dresses have pockets. So yeah. Yes, Joe, I was 6 minutes late for my own live because that's how I roll. I'm, like I said, I'm that person that gets on the cruise ship and the next thing you know, it's on the national and international news for having to go back to the cruise port. So I have travel stories out the wazoo. And that's a word my grandmother would always use, wazoo. Like I've ended up in the wrong country. I've missed flights, not any of it my fault. That's all been the airline's flight. Got detained at customs in the UK because of the airline making a mistake. Where was I? Manchester. I got detained for 6 hours by British customs because obviously some middle-aged white woman is a huge threat to the UK society. I don't know. It was ridiculous. But yeah, definitely check out Bloom Chic, BLOOMCHIC. Now, shipping to you in the UK, it's probably going to come straight from China. Most of the stuff here, like they have about 50% that they're now like pre-shipping into the US. And so it'll ship quickly, but then the rest of it does come from China. So it comes right from the factory. So it does take a little bit longer. But honestly, like the variety of dresses and stuff that they have available is the best for any size. I think they go from a US size 10 to a US size 30, I think. So like so many different sizes. Luckily, like I'm getting down, I was wearing their 4X and I'm down to their 3X. So that's really great. And so Joe, you missed, how Calamity Jane and I were talking about tomatoes at one point. Like, so I have this tomato patterned dress. So it looks kind of like cherries, but it is actually tomatoes because I love my tomatoes. So I can't wait to get into this. It is a 1X, and so definitely does not fit yet. So yes, Candace, that's just how we roll. And Candace, you got the joys of being on the cruise ship, and I'm going to take full blame for us having to return to port. So Candace and I ended up, unbeknownst to each other, on a cruise ship together, and we ended up running into each other and having a chat. It was absolutely fabulous. And because my little pea brain doesn't function all the time, I didn't even think for us to like sit down. We could have done a live together. We could have filmed a video together, but no. What was Amy doing? I don't know. I don't even know what I was doing. I can't even remember what I was doing. At this point, I can't remember what I was doing after I talked to Candace. I know I was going to do something, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, Joe and Manchester, they were hardcore. I don't know what they thought I was doing. And then this poor French family who spoke no English also got detained because the airline made the same mistake. They forgot to give us our boarding passes for our connecting flight because we had all just missed our flight, and then ended up, instead of going nonstop to Paris, they put us on a flight to Manchester, but forgot to give us our boarding passes. And then we get there and they're like, well, you can't get on that flight that's literally like 5 feet that way because you don't have your boarding pass. And it's like, don't you have it in the system? Can't you just reprint it? I've got my passport. They're like, no, you must come with us. It was just ridiculous. The poor French family, like I spoke just enough French to be able to like tell them like, it's okay. Like everything's okay. Like you just have to wait in the airport. And it was a mess. But yeah, thank you. Love the tomato. I'm such a tomato fan. Let's see. Oh yeah, happy Halloween Eve. Hello, Amy Lucas 99. Nice to see you today. Yeah, you know, it hasn't even dawned on me that it's really Halloween. I did do a job interview, not for me, but for a potential candidate today. And was it Google Meet? Like let me choose like a really creepy castle vibey background today. So I thought that was cute. And then Joe saying hello to Amy Lucas. And Joe, how are you feeling? I know I've seen you a little bit on YouTube, but not as much as usual. Are you feeling any better at all? Hopefully, praying that you are. And how's Miss Mary doing? Does she still have her little flower? What do you call that? We call them an Elizabeth collar in the U.S. So like the little cone protector thing. But yeah, here we call them an Elizabeth collar after kind of like the Elizabethan era where they had the big like collars, the white collars that went around their necks. So just FYI. Useless information if anybody ever wanted to know. Aw. Well, you know, at least you're healing up, Joe. So, oh, poor Mary. Poor Mary, so sad. But yeah, at least you're healing up. And, you know, I know it's unfortunate like that you are not working at the moment, but at least you have the time to be able to recuperate. So it was so nice seeing you out on your live and going for a walk, but it's just such a bummer when you have to struggle with the fibromyalgia. Aw. Aw. You know, that's so difficult when you get a cat with a condition that you just can't find the answer to it and help them with it, right? It's really frustrating. I know my in-laws had a dog that had really bad itching and stuff. Turned out he had a food allergy, but then they just kept feeding them the wrong food. So it's like, well, how's that helpful to the poor dog? Yeah, I really hope you're back on track and that you're recuperating really well. Oh, what was I going to tell you? Oh my gosh, I just forgot. Now this is really going to bug me. I still need to contact you, Joe, about Nightbot on how to turn on like the hashtag thing. So people, if they are content creators, can share their link in the live feed. So that way everybody can connect to each other. Because I really do love sharing everybody's channels and love, promoting promoting other content creators. And oh my gosh, now this is really going to bother me what I needed to tell Joe, and I can't remember. So, well, I guess it's just going to have to be a mystery, because my brain just, I guess I'm just getting old. I guess it's the dangers of, I am getting closer to 52 every day. So it is at the hour mark, and I have not seen anybody else saying that they're going live. If there's anybody on here who's a content creator and has a live stream anytime soon, just ping me in the comments and I'll put it up on the screen. And then so they can head over to your live stream. Let me just check really quick and see if there's anybody in my subscriptions that is doing something quickly. 1 second. I have to get signed into Amy Loses It and see. So right now, Traces of Twan's Life, she is live, and I can't tell how long she's been live, but she's live. And Alonda is live right now. So Alonda 180, I'll put that. I know her handle is at, can I actually post a comment? So at Alonda 180. No, why cannot not type? Okay, so I can't type, apparently. I thought I had my keyboard on, and it's not working. Oh, there we go. Alonda 180. I really love her content. She's another content creator that is on a journey to lose weight. And she's really been struggling with the scale. She's been 10 months on a stall. So I definitely highly recommend, like, if you want to see Alonda, she's actually been on for an hour now, so hers might be ending soon. And if you said Twan starts, Becky, you said Twan starts at 7 p.m. So she is just a few minutes into it. And let's see, I don't see anybody else, because the Downsized went live earlier today. I think they've just been doing them sporadically while they're on the cruise. And just FYI for me, I still do have an interview coming up with Lori at GLP1 Journey and Review. I don't know when yet she's going to put out my interview. And as soon as I do, I'll make sure I post that. And then, like I said, sometime in December, expect to see me on the Downsized. So I'm excited about that. So, well, I'm going to let everybody go, because it is it's been an hour and 10 minutes, and I need to go make myself some dinner. So I want to thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I truly appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again. I think I'm just going to make it a habit of going live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you, Candace. You have a fabulous night yourself. Now, I know that one of my lives will fall on Thanksgiving Day. Did I say 7 p.m.? 6 p.m. Sorry, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be going live every Thursday as long as I can. If I can't, I'll make sure I post that there will be no live. But Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to make an attempt to do that as well. Thank you, Jill. Have a good evening. Because you know what, at that time of day, people may be done and need some entertainment other than football. And also, too, I'm just hanging out with a friend for lunch, and then I'm going to come back home, because honestly, like, I don't really have blood relatives left, I guess you would say, like direct relatives. Like, I have a brother in another state, and I have my stepmom, but I don't really have the big family group left anymore. So I will come entertain myself. And if I'm talking to myself on Thanksgiving Day, that's fine. I'll make sure that I have a good topic and at least get a good 20, 30 minutes in, so you have a video to watch later if you're not able to join me. But I want to thank everybody for joining me today. And if you ever have any questions, just let me know. You can leave comments on the live stream after it posts, and I'll definitely get back to you. And just make sure you give this video some love, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. I actually have gotten about 180 new subscribers in the past 2 days because I've had a video that has gotten about 5,000 views for some reason. And I'm really excited that I was looking at getting to 400, and I blew past 400, and I'm almost to 600 subscribers in the last 2 days. So yeah, so definitely I'd love for you to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us. The live stream usually posts within a few minutes of us ending. I do like to go in and add some descriptions and stuff. And then I will also usually put in timestamps so you can see I did a weigh-in and I did the stats and everything about me at the beginning of the video. So I'll put some timestamps if you want to go back and see where I've gotten to in my most current weight as of just a few days ago. So thank you everybody for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good night.
One scale and a suitcase to pack. Zepbound in hand, there's no looking back. Cruising through this journey, non-scale victories divine. But can Amy lose the weight without losing her mind?